Okay, so after this morning's or this afternoon's win on this long, I took a loss, and I took a really stupid loss. Okay, so the PA was as follows. US market opens but sells off almost immediately. At the same time, ES is showing strength, actually almost tapping all-time high, but then consolidating, chopping about, and in the end showing signs of weakness towards the low that NQ already took a long time ago. So by the time ES here is showing weakness, price for NQ is chopping. And what is it chopping? It actually mitigated the 4-hour level, which I took as a slight bullish sign. And let's go to the 2 minutes because I'm not going to spend too much time on it. So I saw this breaker, take into account the volatility. There was this tiny gap here which was holding price down, and overall I could see that this was an SMT. And my reasoning for taking this trade was, okay, so if I have a breaker, a change in the state, if I get a proper 2-minute close above this, even though we have this level here, I would consider taking a long towards here. That having said, I said to myself, okay, ideally I want this level to be tapped first, so that ES might also have a reason to bounce after taking this liquidity. So price was just chopping about, and as you can see here, after this wick or this candle, price closed above. It closed above the breaker, above the change in the state, and it was just really good displacement. At the same time, it was very close to the low, but also showed good momentum. It showed good momentum above this gap. So my initial reaction was, okay, we have seen levels not getting hit all the time or just getting missed by a few points. Most likely this is it. So I went long. Lo and behold, next candle, immediate breakdown of price, and the next candle I got stopped out. So I got stopped out here, and actually the moment I went into this trade, okay, I made many errors, and the most important, okay, let's start with the small errors and then end with the biggest error. The smaller errors are me not waiting for confirmation here, because the confirmation, as I agreed upon with myself, I want to see this level be taken out first and then see what the reaction is, because afterwards price actually did take out that level, and that took a couple of 2 minutes extra. Let's just see. So if I would just waited here and not do anything, there would be a lot more clarity in price. So here I got this level, and by that time I would have seen, okay, hey, this doesn't look bullish at all. So I would rather say, because price is then just in this range, let's just see it the 5 minutes. Yeah, so we have this high and this low and just chopping. My reasoning for getting short would be equally reasonable as going long. So that's mistake one. So too hasty on the button. The second is that price was actually showing bearish breakdowns, bearish change in the state, not only for NQ but also for ES. Just break down, and in the end it just also closed below. So that's also a mistake. Another mistake I made was actually the reason why I did not get decent, let's say, R on this long, is that there's this huge 15-minute gap. And what you can see is that it tapped, created the level here and just tapped it and then just sold off. And I mean, this is just beyond stupid, because I made that mistake in the AM session, or at least in the overnight in the London session, and I'm doing it in New York session again. Here it cost me money, but I'm still in profit. Here it cost me money because I just have a 1R minus. So this is really stupid, but the biggest reason not to take a trade is just the choppy conditions. So even though the higher time frame setup might be there, I'm not saying it is there, but it might be there, because we have an H4 gap, there's a mitigation of that gap, there is an SMT, but an SMT only before this close. So I was creating an SMT as an argument to go. But then my model also says I want really clean PA on the lower time frame. So the lower time frame means the time frame based on which I'm going to take the trade. And you can tell me a lot, because let's just take out, this is not clean PA. This is just horrendous PA. The wicks, the bodies, the chop, the indecisiveness. So the moment that you have this 2 hour, I'm going to just, okay, so the moment when price was here, I actually had the idea, so I'm going to take out this breaker. Then we have this 2-minute gap. This is okay, right? It can wick in, price is still bullish, and if you then get a close above, you still have that 50-minute candle here. But if you get a really clean break above, maybe some chop here at the lower end of that 15-minute gap, then you have really clean PA that you can draw the conclusion, okay, we tapped really deep, ES is nowhere near this, and once we close above this, we make a really strong displacement, strong momentum in that candle. Yes, we consolidate a little bit, but then you can assume that continuation higher is the next logical step. The moment that you wick in, you close, and you immediately drop down in the following 30 seconds, that's just pain. But it only can exist the moment you have this, right? So once I got all these wicks, actually this just loses its importance. It really loses its importance. So that was the biggest mistake I made. And the same applies, so I should actually just take this out, and then I can draw the same one here. And if you get a reaction like, if you have it like this, and then the next candle it breaks out, then you have a good setup, right? Even though this is just, okay, this is not the best PA, but if you take this gap into account, and if it would be a little bit bigger, which is my model, then you have a good setup. But also, it was just chopping about. So the lesson is here, clean PA on the lower time frame is an absolute must for the model. Absolute, no discussion. And I made some small errors there as well, but this is just an absolute horrendous setup. I should have never taken this trade, but I still did, and then it cost me. So let's go out, and just also to show you, because afterwards it just dumped like crazy. So let me just show you the executions for my own pleasure. So I went long at the re-entry in this candle, and I went out here. Absolute horror.